Hey guys, welcome back to the Second Time Lucky Mining channel. Can you believe it? Another month has come and gone, and here we are again as usual in this video having a look at the GPU mining statistics for the month of May. And I probably say this every month is it has been a crazy month in crypto, and really it has been. Bitcoin price has actually been stable for the last month. It's been in the high 60s for the duration of the month, but the big standout this month has been the Ethereum ETF approvals. I don't know about you, but for me that was a complete surprise. So I didn't see that one coming. So obviously we saw a massive bump in Ethereum, but that's not really what we are here today to talk about. Our past ex-girlfriend being Ethereum that has left us, that is doing weird and wonderful things. It's about the GPU mining statistics. Now in this video, as usual, we are going to have a look at a couple of things. We are going to have a look at what is the most popular coin people are mining at the moment. We are going to have a look at what is the market share between AMD and Nvidia, and maybe we see Intel. We are going to have a look at what is the most popular GPUs people are using specifically for mining. And again, we're going to look at the AMD GPUs. We are going to have a look at the Nvidia GPUs. And lastly, we are going to have a look at which mining software people are using. Are they using LOL or Team Red or whatever? And what we will be doing, and we do this every single month, is we will have a look at the month-to-month statistics. So what I do in this video is I have a look at what the values was last month and all of the previous months, to be honest, and then I have a look at the net change. So that will show me, as people move from one coin to the other, what is now popular, where people are dropping off. Now, you're probably wondering, why the hell am I doing this? Well, first off, I find the data quite interesting. That's why I do this every single month. But I like to have a look at the trends. The raw numbers doesn't really matter to me specifically. So what the actual number is at this specific point in time, not really too much interested. But what I want to see is the GPUs people are gravitating to, the mining software people are gravitating to, the coins people are gravitating to. Why, again, do I look at that? Well, there might be more yield on a specific coin that people are dropping off on, or there might be a coin that I don't even know about that I should be researching that might be profitable. The same thing around GPUs and efficiency. Am I falling behind in terms of the efficient GPUs people are using? Similarly, the software, right? So it just gives me an idea of what generally miners are doing out there. Now, getting the disclaimers out of the way, again, like all statistics, this is not perfect. Why the hell is it not perfect? Well, for a lot of reasons, right? Again, I have a look at the snapshot data once a month. I might be working on something that's slightly different, but again, this is snapshot data specifically from HiveOS. So this is not the only software people are using. Arguably, it's still popular. And again, a lot of people have moved to other mining softwares, SMOS, simple mining, just straight mining, either in Linux, or people may be using Flux Core. And then there's still people mining on Windows, so I hear. So again, this is not every single miner out there, but it gives me a general trend. So again, the data is not perfect, but it gives me a data point that I can use and that I can look at specifically when tracking this information. Now, enough of me talking about the data and potentially the pitfalls of the data. Let's go and have a look and see what has happened for the month of May.
Okay, so here we go on the computer. Now, the page that I've got open is the HiveOS statistics page, and I'll leave a link in the video description in case you wanted to go and have a look for yourself. But the first stat that we are going to have a look at is the most popular coin. Now, as you can see here, right at the top, Cubic followed by Zalus, Zephyr, then Ravencoin, then Clore, and then Pyron, and followed by Ethereum Classic. No surprise here, Cubic, Zalus, probably the most profitable coins at the moment. That's where the majority of the hash rate is. Now, in terms of expenses I think most people have moved over to those coins, to be honest. But having a look and see at who's the gainers and losers. Now, again, here, if you have a look at the bottom here, that's really where you can see Zalus and Cubic. Again, I haven't monitored Zalus before, so it's sort of a new addition, so I can't really see what it was last month. I'm not even sure people were mining it last month, or maybe they were. It must have been the spec mining. Cubic, I know, has been here for a long time. Now, the other interesting thing here is Gram. So again, if I move across for Gram, took a little bit of a hit. And again, that's probably people going to Zalus. So the majority of all the other coins, with a couple of exceptions, small amount of Ergo, not really massive maybe a little bit of Raven hash rate, but the majority of people are mining Cubic and Zealous and Gram, at least at this. Well, the people on Gram sort of dropped off in favor of Cubic and Zealous. But again, not a surprise. Whatever the most profitable is, that's where the majority of the people migrated to. Now, in terms of market share between Nvidia and AMD, again, if I flick back to HiveOS and scroll a little bit further down, you can see it's 77-23. So the trend has continued where it's just becoming more and more Nvidia GPUs that miners are using. And again, if I just flick back to my stats page, it's been trending in this direction here. So again, if you just go back to, let's say, I've got a couple of columns hidden here. Again, I've been tracking it for quite a long time. But again, if you just look at what I'm showing at the moment, it's been dwindling down, at least from the 70s to now 77. So soon we'll be on an 80-20 rule. Again, it doesn't really surprise me. Nvidia GPUs, arguably, depending on what you are mining, it's just sometimes a little bit easier, might be a little bit more flexible. I know people have different opinions on that. I love my AMD GPUs. I think I've actually got more AMD than I do have Nvidia, so I guess I'm the exception here. But again, the trend has been what we are seeing here, where it's just becoming more and more Nvidia GPUs. Now, looking at the most popular GPUs people are using, again, let's have a look at Nvidia, and again, not a surprise here, 3070 right on top, CMP 30HX, then followed by the 3060 Ti, 1660 Super. CMP 50HX is what I see here, so that's a pretty cheap card. I think that's a derivative of a 2080 Ti, I think, if I remember correctly. But again, the 3070 being on top, not a surprise, the most efficient GPU really. A nice little all-rounder. Again, what I found interesting here is, again, the 4060 Ti sort of creeping up a little bit. But in terms of tracking and trends, there hasn't really been anything here that stands out to me as, okay, this is what people are doing. Again, gravitating to the more efficient GPUs. Now, looking at AMD, so if I just flick back over to HiveOS, the most popular GPU, and here it is, the first month, at least since I have covered these stats, and I can't even remember now when I started. Again, I'll probably look at the sheet and I'll have a quick look and see when, but it's been more than a year, if not 2 years. But it's the first time ever on the AMD side that the 580 is not on top. So I sort of speculated about it the last 2 months now. I saw the 5700 XT creeping up, and here we go. The first time since the GOAT, the 580, has been dethroned on the HiveOS stats. The 5700 XT is now the most popular GPU, followed by the obviously the GOAT, the 580, the 6600 XT, the 6700 XT, such a tongue twister, the 570 and 6600 XT. So again, it's nice to see people gravitating to the more newer GPUs for a little bit more efficiency. I would have thought that the 6600 or the 6600 or 6700 XT would have maybe moved up a little bit more than what the 5700 XT did. But again, there's probably a lot of 5700 XTs. You do spot them at good prices, to be honest. I've seen them dirt cheap here locally, so that makes sense. Again, from the trend perspective, I guess the only thing that sort of stands out, at least for me, is the 580 has been dwindling down. So as you can see, dating back to some of my stats, it's continued to dwindle down. This month, it's a dip below the 5700 XT. Again, some of these other stats, again, more 5700 XTs coming up. And again, I would imagine it's just good deals out there. The other interesting thing here, the 6600, I know there's a lot of people that like this card for mining and the efficiency of it mining. It's gone up here. I don't know if this is something to do with the summer in the northern hemisphere, where it's now summer at the moment, where it's a lot hotter. So people probably switching on these more efficient, lighter on heat GPUs as opposed to some of the other ones. Might be that. I might be looking for reasons, but again, that's what that stats looks like. Lastly, let's have a look at the mining software. So if I just scroll a little bit further down, you can see the majority of people are still using custom miners. I suspect that might be people that are mining Zealous, potentially even Cubic, to be honest. there's still a massive amount here. I did see this last month again. Second up, it's Rigel, then XMRig again, that's for the CPU miners, LOL, Team Red, ASIC again, couldn't care less, and Gminer. Again, looking at the stats here, again, last month I didn't track custom and I'm kicking me in the butt now. I should have done that so I can sort of compare it to this month. But again, some of the other stuff, what I found interesting, again, I slotted custom in here. Again, as I mentioned to you guys earlier, I'm working on something completely different. I've actually found the API last weekend for the HiveOS stats, so I'm looking to create a little program. Again, I'm busy testing it and sorting out some bugs. I might flash it up on the screen in a little bit, but anyway, that will sort out my laziness of tracking. I'll just get all the data, so that is pretty cool. But anyway, looking at what the stats are, the biggest winners here, at least what stands out to me, is Rigel. Rigel's popularity sort of doubled compared to what it was last month. Now, personally, I am also using Rigel specifically on my Nvidia GPU, so I'm actually using more Rigel. I was using LOL miner before, so again, looking at the stats, I'm probably leaning into this drop that you see here on LOL miner. Obviously, my farm is super small, but again, looking at the trend, more people are using Rigel. SRB 1.0 caught a little bit, but it's not enough to move the needle. 0.04%, nothing really. The big thing is custom, and again, I think it was around the 20% last month as well. So a lot of people are still using custom miners here. Again, suspect it's associated with Cubic or some Zealous that people are mining, or maybe it's something completely different that I'm missing. But that's the mining software that people are using, at least at this stage.
That's it for this video, guys. If you've liked the video, please like the video and maybe even consider subscribing to the channel. If you didn't like the video, please specify what you would like me to change. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.